Apple is about to break a massive tradition. And if you're sitting there holding onto an older phone waiting for the iPhone 18, you're going to be waiting a lot longer than usual. They are actually delaying the entire regular lineup. The standard iPhone 18 is not coming out in September 2026. We are looking at a spring 2027 launch, which is going to make the iPhone 17 the longest-selling base model we have seen in modern Apple history. Honestly, when I first saw this, I thought it was a complete joke. But then you look at the supply chain moves, and it suddenly makes perfect sense. Cupertino is planning something absolutely insane for September 2026 with the iPhone 18 Pro and the highly rumored iPhone Ultra, or possibly even the iPhone Fold. They want to completely separate their ultra-premium tier from the daily driver phones to maximize that massive holiday revenue. Mark Gurman has been pointing out how crowded the Apple ecosystem is getting lately, and throwing an iPhone 18, an 18 Pro, an 18e, the iPhone Air 2, and an Ultra onto the exact same stage would be a total marketing mess. So spring 2027 is going to be the dedicated window for the regular iPhone 18. But here's the kicker. You're going to pay a lot more for it. Right now, the base iPhone sets you back $799, which is a pretty solid deal for the performance you get. But Tim Cook recently made some very specific comments about the rising costs of internal components, specifically RAM and NAND storage, and he basically hinted that they cannot just eat the cost forever. DG Times just corroborated this, noting that supply chain pressures are creeping up incredibly fast. So, expect the regular iPhone 18 to start at $899. That is a straight $100 price hike. And if you're thinking you will just buy the iPhone 17 when it drops in price, do not hold your breath. Normally, Apple knocks $100 off the previous generation, but reports are saying the iPhone 17 is going to stay locked at $799. The Apple tax is very real, and it is getting heavier. What do you guys actually think about a $900 base iPhone? Let me know down in the comments, because to me, that puts it in a very weird spot against the refurbished Pro models. Let's look closer at the physical design, because Shrimp Apple Pro has been leaking some schematics, and Mac Attacker backed up the physical dimensions. If you're expecting a massive visual redesign for the base 18, you are going to be heavily disappointed. We are getting the exact same 6.3-inch display and the same vertical dual camera layout we saw on the 16 and 17. From the back, it is going to look practically identical. The physical titanium and aluminum chassis is not changing one bit. All the crazy upgrades are happening completely under the hood. And the biggest one by far is the custom silicon. We are getting the brand new A20 chip. But this is not just your standard iterative spec bump. This A20 is going to be manufactured on TSMC's 2nm process. Ming-chi has been tracking the TSMC 2nm yields, and they're finally hitting the high volume numbers Apple needs for mass production. Moving from 3nm down to 2nm means the transistors are packed even tighter, giving us a massive leap in electrical efficiency. Battery life on the regular iPhone 18 is going to be utterly ridiculous. You will not have to worry about aggressive thermal throttling either, because the 2nm node runs remarkably cooler under heavy loads. This chip alone might completely justify the wait until spring 2027. But the absolute wildest leak I have seen all month revolves around cellular connectivity. Apple is finally ditching Qualcomm for the base models. We have known they were working on custom silicon for years, but the regular iPhone 18 is slated to get Apple's highly secretive proprietary C2 or C2X modem. And here is why that actually matters to you. The LEC recently detailed some of the supply chain orders for these custom modems, and they include advanced satellite connectivity. I'm not just talking about emergency SOS text messages to first responders. The rumors suggest you might actually be able to browse the open web, stream Apple Music, or even watch YouTube videos at 540p or 720p using satellite internet when you have absolutely zero cellular signal. You could be in the middle of a barren desert, on a remote mountain hiking trail, or maybe even mid-flight on an airplane, and you will have a direct satellite data connection. Wait, real? Lee, I will believe it when I see it, because pulling decent broadband bandwidth from satellite directly to a smartphone without a massive external antenna sounds exactly like black magic. But if Cupertino actually pulls off seamless integration with satellite networks for standard daily data, it instantly kills every other competing phone on the market. Moving on to the cameras, we have some huge news for the front-facing sensor. Ross Young and several other display analysts have been looking at the front panel cutouts, and the selfie camera is getting a massive upgrade to a brand new 24-megapixel sensor. We have been stuck at lower resolutions for so long, so jumping up to 24 megapixels means incredibly sharp video calls, insane dynamic range for your daily driver selfies, and vastly superior low-light performance. Because Apple is re-engineering that front camera module, the dynamic island is actually shrinking. The Face ID infrared sensors and the new camera are getting heavily miniaturized, meaning the actual physical pill shape is going to be about 1/3 smaller. It is not just cutting off a side either. The entire island is shrinking by about 33% proportionally. That gives you slightly more screen real estate for your status bar icons and makes the whole user interface feel significantly cleaner. Finally, we need to address the capture button. When Apple first introduced this, everyone loved the functionality, but repair shops quickly realized it is one of the most painfully expensive parts to fix. Replacing a broken capture button currently costs more than replacing the actual front glass, which is insane. Supply chain reports indicate Apple completely redesigned the internal mechanism for the iPhone 18. It is going to be mechanically simpler, way more durable, and significantly cheaper to repair out of pocket. The actual operation might change a bit too, potentially relying slightly less on capacitive force sensors and more on a traditional mechanical switch to save manufacturing costs, but we will have to wait for more CAD schematics to leak to know for sure. Are you guys actually willing to wait until 2027 for this phone? Or are you upgrading right now? Drop a comment below, hit that subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one.